Hello Year 2, we're back again today with another chapter of our story. We are up to chapter 18, A Surprising Visitor. The children's mother was astonished to see Moonface and Saucepan arriving at the cottage with the children. "Mother, can they stay the night?" asked Joe. "They've been so good to us in lots of ways and they don't want to go back to the tree tonight because someone's waiting there to scold them." "Dear me," said Mother, even more surprised. "Well, yes, they can stay. You and Rick must sleep downstairs on the sofa. If they'd like to help in the garden for a day or two, they can stay longer." "Oh," said Moonface, "please, that would be fine. I'm sure What's-His-Name will have forgotten about scolding us if we stay away for a few days. Thank you very much. We'll help all we can." "Would you like one of my very special kettles?" asked Saucepan gracefully. "Or a big saucepan for cooking soup?" "Thank you," said Mother, smiling, for the old saucepan man was a really funny sight, covered as usual with all his pans. "I could do with a strong little kettle, but let me pay you." "Certainly not, madam," said Saucepan, hearing quite well for a change. "I should be only too pleased to present you with anything you like in the way of kettles or saucepans." And he gave Mother a little kettle and a good strong saucepan. She was very pleased. Moonface looked on, wondering what he could give her to. He put his hand in his pocket and felt around a bit. Then he brought out a bag and offered it to the children's mother. "Have a bit of toffee?" he asked. Mother took a piece. "What do you think it's going to be?" "Normal toffee." The children stared at her, knowing that it was a piece of toffee shock. Poor Mother! The toffee grew bigger and bigger and bigger in her mouth as she sucked it, and she looked more and more surprised. And at last, when she felt it was just as big as her whole mouth, it exploded into nothing at all, and the children screamed with laughter. "Mother, it was a toffee shock," said Joe, giggling. "Would you like to try a pop cake or a Google bun?" "No, thank you," said Mother at once. The toffee shock tasted delicious, but it did give me a shock. It was fun having Moonface and Saucepan stay with him in the cottage for a few days. The children loved it. Moonface was very, very good in the garden because he dug and cleared away rubbish twice as fast as anyone else. The old saucepan man wasn't so good because he suddenly went deaf again and he didn't understand what was said to him, so he did rather peculiar things. When Mother said, "Saucepan, fetch me some carrots, will you?" he thought she'd asked for sparrows, and he spent the whole morning trying to catch them. Then he went into the kitchen looking very serious. "I can't bring any sparrows," he said. Mother stared at him. I don't want sparrows," she said. "But you asked me some," said Saucepan in surprise. "Indeed I didn't," said Mother. "What do you think I want sparrows for? To make porridge with?" When Saucepan and Moonface had been at the children's cottage for 2 or 3 days, Silky came in a great state of anxiety. She knocked at the door and opened it. "Oh, Joe, have you still got Moonface and Saucepan here?" she asked. "Well, tell them they must come back to the tree at once." "Gosh, what's happened?" said Joe. Everyone crowded to the door to hear what Silky had to say. "Well, you know the old woman who lives in a shoe, don't you?" said Silky. "Her land has come to the top of the tree, and the old woman came down to the ladder through the cloud to see Dame Washalot, who's an old friend of hers. And when she saw that Moonface's house was empty, she said she was going to live there. She said she was tired after looking after a pack of naughty children." "Oh no," said Moonface, looking very depressed. "I don't like that old woman. She gives her children soup without any bread, and she punishes them and sends them to bed when they're only a little bit naughty. Couldn't you tell her that house in the tree is mine and I'm coming back to it?" "I did tell her that, silly," said Silky. "But do you think she took any notice of me?" "Not a bit. She just said in a horrid kind of voice, 'Little girls should be seen and not heard.' And she went into your house, Moonface, and began to shake all the rugs." "Ha! Well," said Moonface, his temper rising. "Well, to think of somebody shaking my rugs. I hope she falls down the slippery slip." "She won't," said Silky. She peered down it and said, "Ha! A coal hole, I suppose. How stupid. I shall have a board made and nail that up." "Well, I never," cried Moonface, his big round face getting redder and redder. "Nailing up my lovely slippery slip. Just wait till I tell her a few things. I'm going this very minute." I'll come with you, said Saucepan. Are you coming too, children? Mother, Saucepan and Moonface have got to go back home, called Joe. Can we go with them for a little while? We won't be long. Very well, said Mother. Moonface and Saucepan went to say goodbye to her and thank her for having them. Then they and the 4 children and Silky sped off to the enchanted wood. I'll tell that old woman a few things, cried Moonface. I'll teach her to shape my rugs. Does she think she's going to live in my dear round little house? Where does she think I'm going to live? In her shoe, I suppose. The children couldn't help feeling rather excited as they ran to the tree. They climbed up it quickly and at last came to Moonface's door. It was shut. Moonface banged on it so loudly that the door shook. The door flew open and a cross-faced old woman glared out. Do you want to break my door down? She cried. Tisn't your door, shouted Moonface, it's mine. Well, I've taken this house now, said the old woman. I'm tired of all those naughty children and I don't want to live in a shoe anymore. I'm going to live by myself and have a good time. Dame Washalot is an old friend of mine and she and I will have lots of chats about old times. And she slammed the door in their faces. Moonface peered in at the window. He groaned. She's nailed up the slippery slip, he said. She's put my bed across the board. She's nailed there. Whatever am I going to do? I'll see if I can do something, said the old saucepan man unexpectedly. You're a good friend of mine, Moonface, and I'd like to do something for you. Saucepan began to clash his pans together and make a dreadful noise. He shouted at the top of his voice, Come out, you naughty old woman. Come out and let Moonface have his house. Your children are hungry. Now he made such a tremendous noise that he didn't notice old Dame Washalot coming up the tree looking like thunder. She glared at the little company outside Moonface's house. She was short-sighted and she didn't see who they were. She thought that there were 7 of the old woman's children who had come down from the land above and were making themselves a nuisance. I'll teach you to shout and scream like that, said Dame Washalot in a fierce voice. And before anyone knew what was happening, they were all picked up one by one in Dame Washalot's strong arms and flung right up the hole in the cloud into the land of the old woman who lived in a shoe. And there they were, in a new and strange land again, out of breath and very bewildered. They stared round in surprise. Oh, goodness me. Okay, tomorrow's chapter, the last one of the week, is called The Land of the Old Woman. See you tomorrow.